My name is Reflections of My Evolution. I am an open channel for higher dimensions. I have been sent knowledge in a download to share in this message with all of you who find this video. It's very good to meet you. For those who find this channel and are guided here, thank you for finding your way here and for your support. I am here to remind you of who you really are. These are the words they want me to say. 1. Do not externalize your power. 2. See everything through the eyes of a God. 3. You are the only creator. And 4. Think as one. This knowledge will activate within you when you reach a level of your own self-awareness to be able to see through the 3D veil. It's very important that you guys understand that you are fully conscious, um, and you're inside of your own creation, your own personalized life simulation. And you are here playing the character role in human physical form. This message contains knowledge that requires an inner self-knowing of the workings of this simulated reality game. Um, some of you will be ready for this message, while some of you will not. The main objective of this collaboration with higher dimensions is to release this knowledge out into the 3D, to have it known so that it will be found by those that are ready to seek it. Um, any level of media exposure that involves media literacy, which I have come to understand means anything that involves you scanning and using your sense of sight. For example, like virtual social platforms, commercials, newscasts, cinema, and even books that you may encounter in the third dimensional world. All of these things are indeed your very old conditioning, um, that you had or were under the influence of when you were in your unconscious phase. And these types of old programming is going to come back around in these different forms and even in different ways. An important part of becoming self-aware is to solidify in your mind, that anything found in the 3D is coming from an old place, from your past versions of who you once identified to be. As you continue to awaken inside of your simulation and your new conscious mindset begins to gain dominance, what you guys are going to begin to see is that these changes will start to show up in your 3D physical world. Even your media exposure is, you're going to start to see that there's going to be changes even in that, and it's going to begin to transform. And you probably won't notice this change right away because it does require a certain level of self-awareness to be able to detect these very small and subtle changes in your third dimensional world. Okay? So this is all going to come as you continue to evolve. And when you start to notice these changes, guys, it's the sweetest part, really, because you're going to start to realize that the life that you have been living has always been under your control. You have been creating from the beginning, guys. You just didn't know it. Once you see your own personal evidence of being able to have the ability of changing your life experiences, all with only the changing of your thinking, this will encourage you to continue to create new experiences, you know, but this time you're going to be creating from a conscious state, which means that you will be doing this from becoming a conscious creator. Uh, During your unconscious state, you were taught to um, externalize your power for the purpose of creating the foundation that you see all around you right now. Um, the deceptive outward appearance of the third dimensional world has taught you to externalize your power, even though it's you who is the only one that is the creator of your human simulation. Early fundamental conditioning that was required to build your human simulation created a very specific dynamic for all of us in order to create our world. But this dynamic was never meant to stay permanent. It was only incorporated and brought into the simulation just to build your early foundation. Your early fundamental conditioning was also taking shape and form just by observation, by everything you were seeing around you, and also observing the characters that you chose to play influential and important roles in your simulation. Um, Such characters, for example, as your teachers, right? Your family members, and especially the characters that played roles of your mother or your father, or even any other type of caretakers that you around were around when you were playing the role of a child. Okay. Um, these were all characters, believe it or not, that were chosen by you to play specific roles to begin to build your foundation, your early conditioning, and even your learning. Circumstances are placed into your learning, into your awareness for the purpose of creation. Your personalized human simulation will continuously, place any circumstance to evaluate your choices and your preferences, and even to keep track of your emotional reactions. Television is another avenue of creation that has been placed into this human simulated game as a continuous circumstance that you will be exposed to continue your early fundamental conditioning. Television is offered to continue the normalization of your 3D world, and it's one of the biggest way that the 3D places you in a position of externalizing your power as a creator. Every time you accept normalization, and what I mean by this is allowing your early foundation or foundational conditioning to create for you instead of using your own, self-aware mindset. What you are doing is repeating your old unconscious patterns when you just follow whatever the 3D is showing you instead of taking control and creating as a conscious creator. If you are someone who follows newscasts or watching what in the 3D world is referred to as news, you are not watching anything new. You are only watching your old unconscious programming that is being reflected back to you and just in different ways. Militarism, political systems, and even the government, these are all early foundation 3D programs that were picked up by your unconscious mind for the purpose of creation. These were all things learned in such things known in the 3D as textbooks during your unconscious state to build your early foundation. Um, Everything taught or learned was automatically manifesting these patterns into your simulation. Um, because you were as a kid, right? Middle school and even high school, you were focusing on what you were reading. You know, you were believing that what you read in these resources were legitimate and real. So these patterns because you were internally taking them as beliefs and as truths. They were already starting to manifest these patterns into your simulation. So, what most people don't realize is that school was and is simply early foundation conditioning to build your human simulated reality. This is why many of you still believe in the 3D concepts known as government, as well as a character in your simulation known as the president, or a character known to play any type of role that is in leadership in your own 3D physical world. When you get to this level of self awareness, you will find out that you are never meant to follow. You are always meant to lead. You have always been the leader of your own creation. This is how the 3D teaches you to externalize your power during your unconscious state by giving it away to characters who play important influential roles inside of your simulated reality. If your level of self awareness is here, if you are fully conscious that this is a highly advanced simulated reality that is fueled by your beliefs and your assumptions, then you will understand that you are the only leader and the only creator. There will be characters in your simulation who play very important and influential roles. But this is important for you to keep in mind. Every character in your simulation um, is like an actor in a movie playing a script, and this is what grade school teachers were to each and every one of us. Characters that played the role of school teachers were placed inside of this human simulated experience as part of your early foundation so that you may start the building of your own simulated human life game. This is where it all began, guys. If you are still here, if you are still watching and listening and are chilling with me, this is an invitation to remember how you create inside of this high level simulated reality that all of us are inside of. Every time you place your focus or emotionally react to an experience or even a circumstance that is good or even bad, you are inviting that same pattern to recreate itself at a future time. And of course, it has to be at random. You can't know when these particular patterns are coming because this has to look like a real life that you're living. Um, Keep in mind that this is a highly advanced game of the mind. Every focus or even a reaction is an invitation for more, even if that more is an unpleasant experience or even an unpleasant outcome. This human simulated game uses your emotional reactions as green lights, as acceptance of wanting more. And it is for this reason that such things as emotional intelligence and nervous system regulation are going to be skills that you guys are going to start to learn to get better and better at once you awaken or come into your own self awareness of being inside of your very own personalized simulated reality. In the 3D, everything has the look and the feel and even the appearance of being separate from you. Do not let this 3D filter of externalization cause you cloudy judgments or even cloudy thinking. This externalization that you see is for the purpose of the look, of the realistic factor or the realistic looking nature of the simulation. But once you awaken to your power as a creator, this filter that you see will disappear in your mind. But you will also see it all around you still in your physical 3D world. Okay? So you're going to know that what you see out here is not really what it looks like. And this is where mostly, matters that is that that filter is only an illusion. Okay, you're the one who that's connected to everything, and everything's coming from you. All right, guys. I've hit my end here. It is my pleasure to connect with you guys, with all of you. Thank you so much for being here and spending time with me. If you were guided to click on this video, or if it happened to showed up in your feed and something told you, I gotta see this or whatever, right? You were supposed to hear this message for a reason. My friends are choosing people to come and see this. So you were not guided here by mistake. Okay? I love you, and thank you for being here with me. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for coming and hitting play on my video. I will see you guys all soon. Okay? I love you. Bye.